Hello, and welcome to this collective and timeless reading. This is Eastar Tarot, and today I'm going to be doing a collective reading for, I want to ask today what we need as a collective to remember. What's important to remember right now? What does our spirit guides want us to remember and integrate with who we are now? And today I brought with me a honey calcite. Very nice piece of calcite here. Yeah, love calcite. And a piece of coral, actually, is what I felt like bringing with me today. It's very nice. I don't know if you can see it, but all the little intricate curves and details to it. It's really nice to look at and get the pattern of the ocean in there. And if you were with me last reading, I was talking about hematite balls, and I felt like showing them today. So here they are, little hematite balls. They're magnetic. Ooh! So they really like to pull together. So yeah, I kind of enjoy them, playing with them. So I guess there's something important about them for me. And I just am keeping them in this little oyster shell I found. Actually, I found this on my walk this morning. It was actually in a wooded part, which was interesting because it was near the ocean, so it wasn't that strange that I found an oyster shell, but it was in the woods far enough that I kind of thought it was funny, so I took it home with me. I don't know, it felt significant in some way. So yeah, let's begin. Okay, so and this is a timeless reading, so don't stress about when you're seeing this. That's when it was meant to be seen by you, so don't think about that too hard. Now, what do we need to remember as a collective? What's coming through? Oh my God, the devil. So funny. I enjoy this deck because they kind of make it look a little bit like No Face from Miyazaki. Yeah, so the devil. Desire. This card doesn't always have to be negative, though. Sometimes this can be about being a little devilish, like having fun. So I do see that interpretation here for you. Yeah. So maybe have a little more fun in life if you're being a little too restrictive, I think. But let's just get more cards and see what's going on here. Two of Wands, Genesis. Okay. I think I'm getting the idea, but I want to get a couple more cards just before. The Crown. Completion and embodiment. The Empress. Nurture. And one more. Four of Discs. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, there's been some attachments from the past that you're integrating right now. You see how the crown's in the center, right? So for you, I think that you really need to remember that it's okay to have a little bit of fun in life. It's okay if there's a little bit of shadow in life. Because I think you've been going as a single person for so long, or as an individual, not even necessarily romantically, just I think perhaps, oh, they're starting up a truck next door. Hopefully that doesn't bother you. But there's something about, maybe something about you coming together with someone else, I think, because the Genesis with Two of Wands, maybe it's not even someone else, because look, this person's coming from above, right? And something's starting up, eh? Some energy is coming up, I think. Yeah, they're working on that truck. Whoa. Interesting. I'm getting a little distracted. Sorry. Okay, so I'm just wondering if there's something like, like they're trying to fix a truck over there. So, maybe this is kind of a metaphor for you. Like maybe maybe you're trying to get things... Sorry, I'm a little distracted here. I feel like this is your higher self here, right? And this is your lower self. Or not your lower self, but like your physical body. And you're trying to bring that in. But there's some attachments here that are part of what's holding you back a bit. So, you know, your guides are trying to get you to remember all these aspects of yourself. This is what's going to allow you to become the Empress, at least in your physical life. And it's going to bring you stability once you do. You'll be centered. You'll have all the elements in balance here, right? Because he's got the 4 elements right there. There's going to be a lot of stability that comes in for you once you integrate your shadow. And the shadow could come in many different forms. It could come in the form of other people, thought patterns, places that have people and places that have hurt you. I don't know why I said places first. Maybe you had a bad experience in another country. I don't know why I'm getting that, but I think there's something about you are going to really complete your journey here. Yeah, with the crown, like there's just so much going on here. You've got the Merkaba, you've got a dragon. I don't know if the dragons have any significance to you, but there's, you know, dragons in the air around us. And they protect us, they're our guardians. So, you know, that could be something going on for you. Actually, your dragons are helping you to do this. Yeah, they're bringing... And this could even represent you and your guides, connecting with your guides. You're connecting with the above. The higher realms right now. And that's what you're remembering how to do that. You're remembering how to connect. And it's going to bring you, like, I almost got High Priestess energy from this, but it's the Empress. You're a bit of an Empress here in this life that you're living. I think you're just cleansing out the last of some dark energy that's still in your aura. And once that's been cleared, you're going to have a lot of it, a much easier time in this realm. I think you've had a hard time being here in the 3rd dimension. I think it's kind of felt like you're kind of stuck here and you're like, help. You're looking up at the sky like, please come down and get me out of here. But actually, it's gonna turn more into like, oh, I feel kind of relaxed here. I feel like I can lay back. Yeah, because she's holding the earth, right? It's been a reoccurring symbol in these readings. I feel like she really has become comfortable on the earth here. Yeah. She's not feeling distressed anymore. This is what the stability is. You're stabilizing your 3D self by bringing in the 5D and all the extra Ds. Yeah. Yeah, you're really coming together now. You're really integrating everything. And they're trying to get you to remember how to do that because you do know how to do that. You've done that before. This is all a great remembering for you and for the collective as well, like the collective of the planet. The planet itself is remembering all that's been locked away. And, you know, we're living in a time of deception. I think that's what the devil is also about. You know, the devil's really deceived us right now. We're kind of in the devil's little season right now. But that's all been necessary for us to learn. We have to sometimes forget to remember, right? And that's what the journey is for this time period on Earth. So, yeah, I think you're going to have to find what it is that you need to integrate about your shadow. That can come in a lot of ways. People talk about shadow work, but I think for you, it might be something to do with memories of the past. Shameful memories, I'm getting. Things that you tell yourself. Ooh, I'm getting air in my throat. Maybe times you didn't speak your truth and you felt shame after for not doing that. Yeah. There were three guys fixing the truck out there, and I get the sense that that's like your spirit guides almost being like near the truck. And they're trying to take you apart and figure out, where the issue is. And maybe even those are aspects of yourself, your previous lives, trying to deconstruct you right now, that in the life that you're living, to see what it is that needs to happen. What needs to happen next for you? Everything's a little off kilter here. What's going on? There. That looks straight on camera. Sometimes I don't get the line straight. Doesn't need to be perfect though. But sometimes asymmetry will bother me. I don't know why. Oh. Confidence is your key to success, Leo. Do you have some memories of Lyra, perhaps? This could be Lyran memories coming back to you. Or maybe just some anger from Lyra. Maybe you don't like what happened there. And you're really trying to accept that. And that's sort of why you need to go into those memories. And maybe those memories can come out in, don't have to come out consciously. They can come out in your dreams. And you might wake up not realizing that you've actually processed something big, something huge that was bothering you, that was really troubling you from that time. Yeah, what do you need to release? Yeah, what do you need to release? I get the sense it's guilt. You're having guilt over what happened there. I'm sorry if Lyra doesn't resonate with you, but I'm getting that very strongly with the Leo card here. And this is also about, you got to move forward with confidence. And to do that, you've got to break free from old things that you wish you could change, but you can't. A fiery climax approaches. Yeah, so things are coming to a head here. Look in the part. You're going to have to really be prepared because something's coming in. Or something's being remembered that's really big for you. You might have an emotional release remembering something from Lyra. And all I can say is it's going to be okay because it's in the past. Things have already, many things have happened since then. And you are free to release that guilt, shame, or anger, whatever it is. Maybe it's all of them. But you don't have to feel bad about what happened there because everything happens for a reason. The earth had to go on the journey that it did. It's not like things could have gone better. Things happened as they should, even if it was messy. Even if it didn't seem like it was the right thing to happen. It was. Sometimes really evil and bad things happen on earth. And it's like, why would... some people think like, why would God allow that? Or why would that just happen? Even if, God isn't something you resonate with. Just why would anything like that happen? But dark things have to happen sometimes to move destiny forward. And the light comes back to us always. It's like what I was saying earlier, we have to forget to remember. And to know ourselves more truly. So we had to go through a great loss to know what we had, in a sense, but also for things to change. Sometimes the earth and people and souls have to move, they have to change. And sometimes disruption is required to initiate that change. We wouldn't be where we are now if everything in the past didn't happen, right? And a lot of bad things have happened in the past. So everything was necessary, right? Bad things lead to good things, to bad things to good things, right? And I always think of that parable. Actually, Spirit Science, the ones who made this tarot deck, they had a great parable on their channel. Maybe you should look that up. I forget what it was called. that specific parable. It might have been called the parable of the son with the broken leg, or just who knows what is good and bad, I think is the ultimate message. So maybe it's just called Who Knows What Is Good and Bad, but it's about like a father's son breaks his leg, and he's like, why would this happen? And then the father says, who knows what is good and bad? And then soldiers come to the door and they're drafting for the war, and they don't take the son because he has a broken leg. And they're like, oh, thank goodness. And he's like, who knows what is good and bad? And then something else happens. And it's always the same answer, who knows what is good and bad? Because the circumstances keep changing. And I think you've got to keep that in mind. You know, don't judge your circumstances immediately because you don't know what's coming next, right? Let me get some other clarity here. Ooh, what's that? Matsyasana. Fish pose. Look at this fish. Look at his expression. He's kind of like, a little glum, but maybe that's you, kind of, you're under the water. The fish can't see what's going on the surface, right? He doesn't know what's happening. Maybe he's upset he lost a worm, but that worm was actually attached to a hook. And he doesn't know that he actually escaped something. Ooh, that one came out really fast. Mountain pose. 18. I think that's the number. Is that the number of the sun or the moon? That's the moon card number. The mountain. Yeah, something you haven't seen yet. You haven't seen the trees for the mountain, or the rock for the mountain. I don't know if I'm getting that right, but you don't realize there's a mountain ahead of you, or that you're climbing a mountain, and maybe you haven't even figured that out yet. Yeah, because you're on the path, but you haven't seen that you're actually climbing up a mountain. Yeah, you're kind of like the fish that's underwater. You can't see everything. I'm going to look at fish pose just quickly to see if there's anything I missed. A lot of times I just go off the vibes and feeling. Consider what your life would look like if you stopped wishing for something different than what you have. Stress is what happens when your expectations don't match reality. Change your expectations as needed and notice the energy left over. Yeah, so remember I was talking about how he had kind of a glum expression? Maybe you need to look around and see things a little differently. Look at things with fresh eyes. Yeah, because maybe you just haven't seen that you're on the mountain path, that you're making progress. Maybe you think you aren't doing enough, but you are. You actually are doing what Spirit wants you to do. Yeah. Stand like whatever you're ready for, whatever life throws at you. And then we got fiery climax. So yeah, mountain pose, like there isn't much in the card description there actually to go with, but when I think of mountain pose in yoga, you know, it's about focus. It's about becoming the mountain, right? And being so steady, being so foundational that nothing can shake you, nothing can knock you over. Yeah. When these integrations, these memories happen, keep yourself stable. And to do that, you gotta be at peace with where you're at. You gotta keep yourself in a state of alignment by accepting where you are and being okay with that. Because often that's when change happens. That's when new things come in. When the universe sees that we're stable and ready, then it's like, all right, you're ready for the next stage. right? So if you're ready for that, you know, which I think you are, because if you, oh. Working on that truck, huh? They just started working on it too when I said that. So you're ready for the next big thing to happen, I think. Just be prepared. Sorry, I hope that's not too loud. Hopefully they don't keep going for too long. I mean, how long can you bang, right? Maybe that's also something too. If it seems like it's too much to handle, just hold out, because, you know, it can only last so long, right? And there, they stopped, right? Oh, I got two. I wanted just one, but I guess I'll have two. Spring cleaning and simmer pot. Got a sword there. 38. It's 11. It breaks down to 11. Manifestations. It is time to clear from the path all that does not serve you. Yeah. Again, that energy, you gotta let go of. Ooh. It's so funny that they're working on this truck right now. It just makes me think it's kind of metaphoric for what's going on with you. I really feel that strongly. Something's going on with that. I think they're removing tires or something. Gosh, that's loud. Sorry. But again, it can only last so long. So, you know, it's going to seem crazy, but don't let it bother you. Gosh, so strange. Earth, air, fire, and water await an enchantment steeped with intention. Oh my gosh, earth, air, fire, and water. Here we got that too. Earth, air, fire, and water. Those are all the symbols for the elements. Interesting. So, once you clear things out, everything's what's necessary, what you actually want to keep in your pot and create with is going to be there. And it's going to, you know, you're going to be ready to cook something. So you definitely have to let go of some things. And Spirit is helping you do that by integrating it into your being. And it's going to be a little bumpy. It's going to be fire. It's going to be like that banging out there. It's going to be like, can I handle this? But you know what? You can grit your teeth and get through it. I know that maybe that's not the best advice, but like, you can do it. Sometimes you can do that and push through. And that's not to say, you know, because we tell ourselves to push through things that really don't matter, like push through this job or push through this, I don't know, exercise routine or something like that. But sometimes those things aren't the things we're supposed to push through. A lot of times it's the spiritual things we're supposed to push through. The tough things, the things we often run away from. Most people run away from those things. But it's not what we're supposed to. This is where the real work is. I said real words, though. Maybe you gotta, and again, I have that air in my lungs, so I feel like you gotta speak up. I think you might have to say something important here. Maybe say something to someone, or speak a truth to the world that maybe it's not ready to hear, and maybe you'll feel like you'll be hated for saying it, but you know what? It's time. Don't be afraid of judgment. And sometimes the most important things we do are going to be the hardest and most uncomfortable. You're going to have to speak your truth really plainly and honestly. Healthcare change. Interesting. Healthcare change. You know, healthcare change. I'm seeing that this, you know, butterfly is really, there's some chips out of its wing there. Like it's a bit old. And I'm not saying you're old. I'm saying like, you know, maybe you've worn yourself down a bit and you've got to get some restoration. Take the truck in, get it fixed, so to speak. Actually, I want to put it over here, I think. Sorry the light catches it in a way that you can't really see the card, but... Such a terrible noise, isn't it? I think they're removing tires or something. Can't tell. I'm not a truck girl. I don't know vehicles, but I get the sense that your health needs an overhaul. You know, and that's a good thing, you know, and maybe that means, you know, really assessing what you've been doing and admitting to yourself you haven't been having the best and healthy habits, the healthiest of habits going on. There we go. Make some shade. I don't know if I like that, to be honest. I like them in the corners. Let's just leave them there. Leave it as it is. Again, you gotta test things out, right? Try something new. I'm gonna get one more card actually, because I need some clarification. Is there anything else you can clarify? These changes? What we gotta change? I mean, healthcare is pretty obvious, but is there anything else related? Relationship dynamics. Okay, so speaking up is important because if you're having toxic relationship patterns, that's going to affect your health in a major way, right? And toxic people will directly affect our health. I know from personal experience that is extremely true. You've got to be honest with people if they're really affecting your health with their stress and their negativity. Say, look, I don't want this in my life anymore. You gotta be honest about your truth. You gotta tell people what you really feel. You know, it's a disservice to others to be deceptive, right? Not that you're trying to be deceptive, but, you know, sometimes when we think we're being kind, we're actually kind of being deceptive by not being truthful. We're deceiving ourselves and others, even if it's to save their feelings or something like that, right? It's not always for the greatest good to do that. We have to speak our truth. And that will change your health. Because your health has been affected greatly, is what I'm hearing. So, you know, and your angels are having to come in and do some major work on you to fix that. That's what I'm getting from that's how I interpret that noise going on. It just started when I did the reading, so it has to be part of this, right? There's no other explanation in my mind. Can we get some loving guidance from the archangels about how we can best go about this? What can we do to speak our truth to these people in our life? What's the best course of action here? Nothing wants to come out. No, it's not that. Okay, keep going. There we go. Clairaudience. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind and from other people. So you can get advice from others, but I think also your angels are speaking in your ear to tell you what to say, tell you what to do. They want you to listen, and you know, sometimes what the listening is hearing your thoughts come in clearly about, you know, like a little, not a nagging thought, but like a thought that just quietly comes in and it won't leave you. But what you want to say, or it keeps reoccurring. That's what that is. Your angels are speaking to you, trying to tell you, trying to guide you. They want you to do this. They want you to be open to listening, to hearing what they have to say, because they're trying to guide you on the right path. They're trying to help you. They're going to help you remember as well. I also am getting that this relationship dynamic might not even be in the present. This might have been in the past. And that's what they're trying to get you to remember. Yeah, because even the relationships that happen now, they're kind of a reflection of past lives as well. Things you have not worked through yet. That's what I'm hearing. Like, you may have had some toxic relationships in past lives and they're kind of repeating, but you're breaking out of that. And that is majorly changing your health. Because it was almost like an attachment that was clinging. Yeah, with the devil here, it's right beside it. It was affecting your health. It was like unresolved issues that carried over into another life. That's something very sticky, right? It clung to you. It clung to your soul, even into another life. And that's what you gotta let go of. If you're having health issues, really consider, obviously talk to your doctor, do all the usual things, right? I'm not a healthcare professional, but there's something to be said for spiritual healing and all that. It's all connected, right? Your mental, your physical, your emotional, and your spiritual self. So healing one affects the other, and sometimes we have to heal all aspects before the entire issue is resolved, right? And I don't know if it's still there. I watched this a long time ago, but I think it was on Prime or somewhere like that. But it was this documentary called Heal, just Heal. And it was all about that, about spiritual healing that would heal physical issues for people. And like, there's something really to that for you in this reading. So maybe look into that documentary if you can find it. I don't know if it's still there, but I'm feeling that strongly for you. This came out last reading, Tranquility. Yeah. You need to free your spirit. This is like your spirit, and this is like your body, the house. That's what you gotta do. You've gotta free it from everything that's going on. All this, this clinging energy. You gotta stop clinging to the past. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm also hearing one more card, so I guess we're going with one more card. Something else? One more message? Oh, two. Chills and ceremony. Got this in another reading, actually, and it was sort of like... It was weird. I put my hand over the candle and it was almost too hot and kind of burned. And this says chills. Interesting. You got burned in the past, and now you become like this woman with the crossed arms. She wants to keep yourself safe. And and this card can talk about like when you get like red flags, you get like chills in your body and you're getting like warnings. But I get from this that like you, and she's got like a crystal crown here, you're souping yourself up with protection because you're afraid of something happening that happened in a past life. And it's blocking you from moving forward. That's what's going on. But look at, and this card came out with the chills card in that other reading I remember, so maybe that's something you should read. I'll just put my hand there in case, because you can kind of see something. You shouldn't, but according to YouTube, but you can't really see it through the cloak, because it's interesting. She's wearing red and it's very soft and it's keeping her completely covered. She's got it clung close to her. She's wrapping it around herself tight. Her body is not exposed, but in this one, it's translucent. It's still red, but it's like she can reveal her naked self and she's still protected. And she's got these candles here and light. Maybe you've got to release something with a ceremony, like a ritual, like cord cutting or candle magic. Yeah, because she's got candles. Maybe you gotta do a candle ritual to cut the cord with somebody. I don't know if you know about that, but I think you use a black and a white candle and a string. And or sometimes you write stuff on a piece of paper. Throat got a tickle. Yeah, maybe if you can't say something to the person, write it all down on a piece of paper and then burn it in a sort of ritual. Oh, and there's the train. So, confirmation. Maybe you got to do another ceremony to release that. Because sometimes that's not even just about the person, releasing the person's energy. Sometimes that's just about releasing your energy attachment to that person. And that could be a person in your waking life, but it could also just be the person that was in a past life, because maybe you can't say something to them because they're not here anymore, right? They're gone. And maybe even that is part of the pain. You didn't get to say something to someone you wanted to in another life. And it's bugging you. That is interesting. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a tough one. But I think the ceremony or, doing some sort of ritual with that could really get things moving for you. You have to go from being this closed off person to this naked person who is like, she feels comfortable enough to be naked, like her body. And that's just like a metaphor for like vulnerability and intimacy and expressing your true self, right? It's funny, she's chilled when she's covered and she's not. She's got the candle there to keep her warm. You've got to light the candle within. Yeah. Ooh, boy. There's just a lot of energy going on here. This is a lot. Yeah, light the candle within. That's what I'm getting. Let's get a crystal card. Can we get some more guidance on that? Maybe something to do with this pain that we're hanging on to. That could be a previous life, previous relationship. Good Lord. I'm so sorry if that bothers you. Selenite. Okay, well, the work started up and we got selenite. So this is like confirmation to me that your angels are working on you. They're working overtime is what I'm hearing, to help you. They're really trying to help you. And it's this, the way it spirals up, it goes up to the top, is making me think like connecting to the divine. Like we got 2 of wands here. They're sort of connecting up to the world above, right? I think as long as you, and even here too with the crown, which selenite, work with selenite on your crown chakra. I think that would really help you right now. Meditate with it. Maybe if you have like a selenite tower or a little piece of selenite or a selenite wand, whatever kind of selenite you have, if you have it, that could be very helpful right now. But if not, I think it's just a message that your angels and guides are really there for you. They're helping you. So just call on them. Call for their aid. Because they also need your permission, right? They need your permission to help. Because they don't do things without... They don't just decide for you what you want. You have to decide, right? I'm going to put this over here for now. So you have to do that. And that could be what ceremony is about too, right? Make sure that you let them know, yes, I want help. Yes, you can come in and help me. Because they won't do it otherwise. They won't step in. Your choices are your own. And they have to allow you to choose what path you want to be on. Even if it's not the one they would choose for you, right? But they also can see from a higher perspective. So they can kind of know already what's better for you. But if they're not going to choose it for you. So keep that in mind. Maybe we could get something to let us know what happened in the past that we're trying to heal from. The Judge. This card keeps coming out. Like 3 readings now it's come out. That's a really irritating one. What is going on? How much you gotta do that, huh? But I get the sense that like there's a lot of aggravation from these relationships that happened in the past. And you closed yourself off from everything. Yeah, you closed yourself down, closed yourself off. And maybe you regret that? You have regrets about saying no to someone. Althea, Truth. These two keep coming out together as well. And I get a lot of like black and white, darkness and light, shadow. So maybe in the past you tried to be one or the other too strongly. Like maybe you rejected the darkness in a way that made you not complete. Maybe you worked too hard at something, actually. Yeah, because that banging was really like, no. It made me think like you were trying too hard at something and missing the greater truth. And the greater truth might have been like, people that you kept yourself away from. I'm so sorry. I don't know why this is happening right now, but it's very odd. Here, hold on. There, maybe it's stopped now. So yeah, like I get the sense that you maybe judge someone too harshly and you push them out of your life. And there it comes again. I feel like it's almost confirmation at this point, so I'm just gonna have to accept it. But it's like they tried so hard. You tried so hard to be something you felt you needed to be, and you were like chasing truth, maybe a spiritual truth, and it made you miss the everyday truth. Like people in your life, the people around you were part of that. Jesus. And they just made it so that like something happened and you lost connection with them, and you realized that you were finding truth through them and you lost that by trying to chase a different truth. So like you're not going to do that in this life. I think you're going to see the greater picture. And so if you're someone who's very closed from other people because of this, maybe this is telling you to open up and see what other people have to offer. Other people have personal truths that can help us see the light, so to speak. And so I think you're kind of doing that. I think you're figuring it out. Okay, can we get some closing cards here to... Yeah, the sun. You're gonna let yourself out into the sun. I get that with ceremony here. You're not gonna hide yourself away anymore. You're gonna let yourself. You're going to let yourself be who you're meant to be, and not someone. Sorry, I just need a sec here. All that banging and drilling just got to me. Yeah. Hi, sorry. I had to take a breather because that was just too much noise all at once. Yeah, so the sun here. I think that, getting yourself out in the sun would be helpful, because I think your stress levels are getting a bit high with this. And also, a lot of messages will come to you through the light codes of the sun, and that will cleanse out this devil energy as well. So don't discount a walk outside, how that can help you. And maybe even take a walk where you're letting, your spirit guide you, like don't go on a walk where you've always gone. Go on a walk like you're exploring a new town. Like just go see where your feet take you. Yeah. Ten of Swords. Yeah. This is the ending of a major cycle for you. You completed something major. And I think you had to take a lot of time out for yourself, a lot of rest, a lot of space for yourself. And look, the sun's up here and then the sun's going down here. So you completed something major. You completed a day, but the day was like this whole major journey for you. 3 of Wands. Yeah, you're sailing off on a new journey now that you've completed this step. And it's over the crown there. So you've reached a new level. You've reached a new level of being. And now you're ready for the next step. And look, we had 2 Wands, 3 Wands. So it's, oh my gosh, they're starting up again. They gotta stop, man. I think this reading will end soon anyway, so it's all good. Yeah, King of Wands. And 6 of Swords, so definitely leaving on a new journey, right? Look, a boat and a boat. You're sailing away from this pain that you've been experiencing. This is all coming to an end, and you're becoming powerful, but also adventurous, right? The King of Wands is adventurous and courageous. So I think you're mastering your ability to conquer lessons, which means you're going to be able to take on new lessons, which might not sound exciting, but actually it's really exciting because I think you stagnated for a long time, but now you're coming into a new mode of being because you've completed this. You're going to be a whole new person at the end of this. Oh, this card really wanted to come out. Look, 2 of Cups. And look, we have the lion there at the top over this, the angel lion. And that to me goes back to what we were talking about with Lyra. Maybe you're going to meet someone now, or you're ready to meet someone who was part of that lifetime in Lyra, if that is something that resonates with you. I think that you're ready to see them now, because I think maybe the pain was blocking you from coming back together with this person. And now that you can come back together with them, you're going to understand so much more about who you are and who you have been. Yeah. They'll be part of this. They'll be part of you remembering more. And there's the train confirmation, right? Oh, and I'm sorry if the drilling and all that was bothering you, but I feel like that was a message to, face the agitation, what's agitating you. I took a minute because it was really bothering me, and I just decided, you know what, I need a second. And maybe that's all you got to do too. If things are becoming too intense, just take a breather. Because you can handle anything, but you got to pace yourself as well. There it is. Yeah, just don't let that get to you. Don't let it get to you. It's going to keep trying to throw you off, but you know what? You can handle it. You can handle this because you've already been through a lot. You've been through lifetimes of pain. And this is a cakewalk for you is what I'm hearing. So maybe don't think that, because we all lose memory, right? And forget that we've lived all these lifetimes and we just think we are who we are in this life. But honestly, I think that you can do this. You can handle this. And there'll be help coming in for you to do that. Maybe even a King of Wands to help you. But I think this is also your energy as well. You're becoming the King of Wands. And you can do it. You're going to be moving away from this lesson that's been maybe agitating you for a long time, maybe pushing you to your limit. Yeah. Don't worry. You're going to make it. All right. I think that's the end of the reading. I hope it was a good reading for you. Thank you for staying to the end. If you liked and you like the readings in general, you can subscribe to the channel and get notified when a new one comes out. Otherwise, I wish you all the best and good luck on your journey. And remember to take space and get out in nature when it becomes too much. Okay? All right. Take care.